Hello, welcome to this video about RPA by Workato. And in this video, we are going to show how we can connect the web automation that we did in the last video. How can we connect it to a Workato recipe? If you haven't watched the first video, the link is in the description. So please go ahead and look at that if you did. Let's now connect this to a Workato recipe. Okay, so now we are in environment of Workato, and the first thing to connect to RPA by Workato is to create a connection. So we go ahead and create a connection. We're going to choose RPA by Workato, and we provide the connection name. And there are a couple of details that we need to fill in, and we can do that by going to RPA by Workato. We have to click the Applications tab in the navigation, and then we need to register the Workato app in order to start the process. So we register the new application, we give it a name, and we select the job create scope. So we see that our app is now registered, and then we need to click on the Get Access token. Then we need to copy the client ID. We're going to input it here, and the client secret. So we click on the eye icon and then copy the entire string from the RPA by Workato. And then the last thing is that we need the tenant name. And the tenant name is actually in the URL of the HQ application. So this is the name of your sandbox or your tenant. So once we provide all these details, we can go ahead and connect to the environment. As we can see, the connection has been established. Okay, so coming back to our environment, so now we are ready to create a recipe. So we're going to provide the name. Okay, and then let's start building the recipe. We're going to choose the starting point of our recipe. We're going to use the run on schedule, but it can be anything. And then first, let's create a couple of variables. Those variables will be the same ones as that we defined as inputs and output parameters of the RPA process. So first one is the item number. We're going to also add item quantity and the order number. Okay, so item number, we're going to provide some default value. Let's say we want to order 10 pieces of this item, and the order number will be filled once the job is executed. So once we have the variables, let's go ahead and start the RPA by Workato process. So we have a couple of actions here. The most important one is the start job. This actually creates a process and the bot starts working. So we select that one, and we are going to connect to the environment that we connection that we created. And now we need to specify a couple of things here. So first we need to select the stage. As I explained in the last video, we need to publish the process to test or production in order to connect Workato recipe. We need to select the department where our process is located in. So that was in the demos department. And then we select the process, and that was the create order process that we automated the last time. We need to provide the name, order creation, and then we can also put in something that can be unique. For example, let's put in a job ID so that we can recognize the job name. The last thing is the wait for response. So this field actually defines whether the execution of the RPA job is synchronous or asynchronous. If we leave it at the default value of no, the execution is asynchronous, which means that the recipe will continue immediately after starting the job. If we put yes, then the recipe will wait until the RPA bot is done. One caveat here is that if you put yes, it will only work when you start recipe. It will not work in the test recipe functionality. Okay, and then lastly, you have the optional fields available here. And if we click on that, we will see our input start arguments and output start arguments where what we've defined in our RPA process. So I'm going to select all of these and add them. And then we are going to funnel the variable values to the input arguments by providing data pills. As you can see, it's already suggesting the input here. So you can use data pills and formulas in order to pass the data to the RPA bot. Okay, and we are going to store the order number here. And so the start job is now finished. And then let's just update the variable, the order number after the job is completed. Let's just update it with the value from the job. So this was the output from our RPA start job, and let's just connect the value back to our variable. And in the end, let's just send an email so we can kind of see that the order was created. So I'll send myself an email saying that order is created and that the order number is, and then we'll provide the order number variable data pill as the text. Okay, so we are now ready. So we're going to save our recipe, and yeah, we're going to start our recipe, which will trigger the job to be executed. So it's going to take some time here. So it's checking, and in 4 minutes, it's going to process the event. So the event is currently being processed. And if we switch back to our RPA by Workato environment, and we go to the jobs section, we can see that the job has been triggered and that our bot is executing the web automation that we've defined. So this is now happening on a virtual machine sitting in some data center. As if we look at the job that was completed, you can also notice that the job name is it's still running. Just a second. Yeah, so we can see that the job name is order creation and then our job ID. If we take a look at the process arguments, we can see that the item number and item quantity what was passed from the recipe, and we can see that the order number was filled with the information from the website, what we've scraped from the website. And just as a last thing, let's take a look at the email, so see if we've seen that, received that email. Yeah, so we have the email, order is created, and then the order number is here. So this is how you connect Workato recipe to RPA by Workato. You can see it's relatively simply. In the next video, we will create a Workato Genie that uses RPA by Workato. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.